Good morning.
And welcome to the Opie and Anthony program, broadcasting live from the XM satellite compound in Washington, D.C.
We're in Washington.
For the second day, yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. There we go. Everyone checking their levels. Turning my mic up a little bit. Or my headphones up a little bit. There we go.
Can you tell we're a little tired?
Oh, meetings. Meetings.
I'm starting to think we're not a good road team.
We're an awful road team.
We're a much better home team.
We're a good road team doing afternoons. I'm going to be very surprised to see how we are in New Orleans, because we're going to be broadcasting 3 to 6 Eastern, 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern. So that's a little odd. I mean, we're going to actually be able to hang out after the show and do a little caddying.
I think you messed it up, though.
Why?
I think it's actually 2 to 5 Eastern.
I've heard...
Or is it 3 to 6?
3 to 6 Eastern.
How does that thing work with New Orleans? They're an hour behind us?
That thing.
Oh, so it'll be 2 to 5 out there? What?
Right.
Oh, okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
2 to 5 there, 3 to 6 Eastern.
I'm sorry, Anthony.
That's all right. But now, with us doing, mornings, we can't do anything afterwards. You know, we had our meetings yesterday, and then our dinner with Elo and Strelo. I remember the first time Elo called Kevin Straley Strelo. Kevin looked at him and said, "That isn't going to stick, is it?" Like, I don't think he's as into the whole O thing as Eric Logan is with the Elo.
Well, we were meeting people all day long yesterday after the program, and everyone has an O at the end of their name.
Everyone now has an O. That's the whole XM thing.
Hugo, who's the CEO of the company, and then we met Dano. Strelo.
Eric just puts an O behind everybody's name.
Yeah, well.
And makes him an O. And he talks about himself in the third person, which he did on the air yesterday, and someone on Instant Feedback was like, God, let me see if I could find it. Just said, did Eric Logan, Elo, just refer to himself in the third person? What a tool.
Well, it's funny you say that, because we went to a really nice steak restaurant last night, and he had his billboard monitor.
Oh, very proud, yes.
He's got a feature in there about himself.
Yeah.
And on the cover it says something like, getting to know Elo.
XM's Elo.
And then he looks at Anthony and I and goes, see what you started? And I'm thinking to myself, you started the...
We didn't start it.
You started this. You gave yourself your own nickname. We didn't start calling you Elo.
He's the self-proclaimed Elo.
Right.
We didn't dub him Elo. It's like the king of pop. You know? Michael Jackson made that up himself. It's the same thing with Elo. No one called him Elo. Elo called him Elo.
He gave himself his own nickname.
I know. Who does that?
A lot of people have given themselves their own nicknames over the years, you know?
Well, of course.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of corny, man. I mean, if people didn't want to call me Big Dick Norton, I would accept it, but that's just what's kind of stuck.
Can't get that going.
So where do we begin? I guess we begin with...
our meetings.
The meetings we had down here in Washington. After the show yesterday, we went into a tech meeting. Ooh, holy ass.
Wow, that was something. You sit in a conference room with all the tech people, and we were trying to hammer out the problems with our levels in New York.
Yeah.
When we were on the air in New York, our volume, as we're speaking, is a little lower, and then music comes in and it's louder, and people have been complaining about that.
Well, we did it to ourselves, you know, because we went on like a 15-minute rant about...
Yep.
How much the audio levels stink, and this stinks, and this stinks. And it felt good.
Yeah.
It really did feel good to rant and rave and scream and yell for 15 minutes. But here's the other side of it.
Yeah.
Now you have to sit down in a room with a bunch of tech geeks that just make you feel like you're the stupidest person in the world.
We were sitting at this table, and they're babbling stuff out that I had no clue. What they're talking about equipment and levels and dB ranges and mix minus and there was stuff that they were talking about that I thought they were just joking. They were kidding us.
They might have been.
They were playing a joke on us.
They could have very easily been just messing with us, Anthony. Yeah. Very easily.
Blurting out stuff from a technical manual.
Right.
And we sat there like looking like, you know, you kind of get your eyebrow like you're thinking, like, yeah, I agree with that. Mix minus, yes.
It was funny because I'm like, all I could tell you is when we broadcast from New York, there's these 2 meters, program and audition, and They're not the same level.
Yeah, but then after they talk all that tech stuff, then they turn to you and go, no, that's what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
You'd say something. You'd go like, well, see, what our concern is, because they blah, 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 mix minus, blah, 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 on the board, we take this, and then you'd go, yeah, well, our mics seem to be lower than the rest of the stuff that's played. Hello, were you listening? We just addressed that whole thing
in some foreign language that you'll never understand.
Some wacky tech language that I had no clue what it was.
But we just sound so stupid. It's like they're not the same level. And then, well, obviously, it's the mix minus has to be blah, blah, blah.
I had no
and then
idea.
the extensions. What extension are you using, Bob? Well, we're using the extension 2005 BTX, whatever, you know. And, well, that's the problem, obviously.
Oh, we'll get the 2800s up here, and that'll... What? I don't think you need to go that high.
Right.
You know, you're trying to get involved. It just didn't work. We were just stupid sitting there, adding nothing to the conversation.
Well, we came to an understanding yesterday. They realized that we're just really stupid, and we realized that they know what they're talking about.
Yep. That's pretty much it.
No, we got along with them guys.
But Steve decided he was going to jump in the conversation and restart an ongoing war here at XM that is probably the biggest battle that has ever taken place anywhere. Yes. Steve gets on and decides to say, what did you ask them, Steve?
I asked what a lot of production and audio guys ask, and that's how come we can't use Mac computers when I do.
Oh!
Yeah,
They start looking around at each other like, uh-oh, we had a truce for 10 minutes, but now we're going to have to start killing each other.
Yeah.
In here. They had a truce, and you brought up something that upset them.
Audio guys like using Macs.
There's the Mac camp and the PC camp here at XM. And, of course, compatibility is a problem.
Right.
The Mac people want the entire complex, everyone at XM, to switch to Mac. PC, vice versa. They want everyone PC. But PCs don't handle the audio as well and the editing and stuff as well as PC does. It's just a fact of life. I know PC people will now start emailing and go, no, there's a program, there's this, that. It's just the way it is, people. Sorry. The hippies that work the Macs, they love the arts, and they have gotten it to the point where that is best for audio and video editing.
Exactly.
For your basic business needs in the office place, PCs are better equipped to do that.
Yeah.
And these guys looked at each other like, oh, well, Steve, now that you've brought it up, we've been discussing this now. And one guy gets up and flips over the blackboard.
A huge blackboard.
Huge blackboard. And it looked like some of the scribblings from A Beautiful Mind. It was just this whole thing, the pros and cons of Mac and PC. We've been discussing this, Steve.
Yeah, the only thing we recognized at the top was PC versus Mac. That was it. The rest was, some crazy math formula.
Yeah, and I know it was going to erupt that much of a discussion. I really would have kept my mouth shut.
Oh, you idiot.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a sensitive issue because, audio guys that are using Pro Tools that want to do these pieces of production, they always use Macs. And when they're forced to use PC, they always bitch and piss and moan, and I'm really no different.
Well, there's a problem with getting it to be compatible with each other.
Yeah, it's just, and people don't want to support the Macs, so they try to keep it uniform. It's the old VHS Betamax, argument. One was actually better, but they flooded the market with VHSs and sold them cheap, and now everybody uses.
I don't think that'll ever happen. I think there'll be Macs and there'll be PCs, and
Yeah.
It was only true geeks really get into the whole battleground.
It was just funny because it made our meeting a lot longer than it needed to.
Oh, I know.
To be. So thanks for that, Steve.
We got into that. Anything that made the meeting longer, and then like 5 minutes before the meeting ends, who comes trotting in? Our own Jimmy Norton. He missed the whole meeting, that lucky bastard.
Can I say that I still don't know what went on in that meeting, but I walked in, and you idiots looked like Guantanamo Bay detainees, just kind of sitting there looking straight ahead. No one looked like they knew what was going on.
Anthony and I were just trying to make believe we were really smart. And
I'd have been happier if Justin Volpe came in with a plunger. It was awful.
It was bad. It was bad.
Oh, is that why PC was on the board? I thought they were calling you Pretty Cozy.
Yeah, Steve's in his flameware today, man.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Did you get some nice production done after the show yesterday, Steve?
I did. I got some great production done up until a point.
Why? What happened?
Nothing.
What happened? There's plenty of production studios here. You probably just right in there and use one.
You had no problem bitching and complaining before we got on the air. What happened, Steve?
Head-butting going on?
No, there's no head-butting.
Head butting up against someone else's?
Yeah, exactly. It's my blonde head butting up against someone's bald head. Yeah, baby.
What happened, fella?
In addition to being, passionate about the computers they use, production guys tend to be very territorial.
So
they don't like other guys.
Leaks all over your stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, I was marking my turf, peeing all over this guy's studio, and apparently I had time blocked for use of the studio to do production and voice tracking, and apparently I had treaded onto this individual's time.
Oh boy!
So How
many production studios are here at XM? Would you say?
There's a lot of them. I was in number 6, and for a place to have 6 fully outfitted production studios, that's a lot. But I'm sure there's more.
Why was there a problem with?
Apparently, I was in his.
Oh, okay.
So I was doing some production. I was honestly just about done. Maybe I had another.
I got to say, though, you'd probably would be the same way if someone was trying to use your studio back in New York,
honestly,
right?
Dude, I've been in that position before, and you don't address it the way this guy did.
But there's only one studio in New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
You have to be polite about it. You're like, no, that's okay. Take your time, because you don't want the reverse to ever happen to you.
Right.
You don't want to be in a position where you're using someone else's equipment and you get the death stare and the really nasty look. So
what happened? You were doing production?
Doing production. I'm about maybe 30 minutes out from being completely done, and this guy walks in, and with this nasty look, like, who the fuck is this guy? And the girl I'm cutting voice tracks with, oh, this is Steve from the Opie and Anthony show, and I get this. I don't give a shit who you are.
Are you kidding?
No, that was verbatim.
Verbatim?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit who you are?
Ooh. And I was like, all right. Meanwhile, this guy's a third my size. I could very easily throw him.
What's his name, Steve?
Tazz.
What?
Tazz. T-A-Z.
Tazz.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Ooh.
There you go.
There's a lot of Tazzes, though, in this world.
Yes. Yeah, Tazz seems to be a pretty popular name.
Yeah,
in the
good for
radio
him.
Biz.
Good for him.
So did you guys solve your little problem?
Yeah, he left and I finished. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was just he was probably just didn't like the fact that there was another production guy in his room doing work.
Did he just spin in a circle down the hallway and kick up dust behind him with his wacky name?
Exactly. But I saw him later on, and I was trying to acknowledge him and say, look, I didn't
Why?
mean to, but I was just trying to be polite.
For what? You just sitting there doing your job and he comes in and curses at you?
Yeah, now I'm not going to. Not because he was just, cold, dead stare ass wipe.
What happened when you tried to be polite?
Just stared at his monitor, kept working.
Ugh.
And what capacity what does this guy do? I mean,
he's a production guy.
He's a production guy.
I think he works for the rock channels. Actually, he's somebody who I probably should be friends with, but
why?
Not happening anymore.
Oh, boy.
He could provide a lot of the music that I would need to do production.
No, he wouldn't. Get off Napster. He needs him. Napster.
Who needs him?
Where are you from, man?
What year are you in, Jimmy?
I hate to tell the boys, but Napster is now reopened and better than before, and you pay $1. I don't like to steal from the artist, so I pay $1 and I get my songs.
Right, but that's like any service. You go to iTunes,
right.
You get the same thing. It's
I
not
don't
like the old
iTunes.
days where you could just,
Yeah, Napster, I know they're back, but it's still considered old school at this point. Jesus.
I know.
Napster.
All right, well then let the housewife go in there and get beaten up by Tazz again. I'm just trying to save him some...
housewife.
Hey, all right, fine, Vicky LaMotta, if you want to go in there.
So, Steve, you got a lot of audio for the show today?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Well, for the show today?
Yeah.
No, once I get back to New York, I'll be able to...
Yeah, of course.
I have the New Orleans promo running.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I had to do.
Oh, yeah?
All right.
People say I sound like I'm in a fishbowl, and I don't seem to be up as high as everybody.
All right.
That's what they're saying.
Here, go ahead.
Yeah, how's that? That's better.
There you go.
There we go. Now I can hear myself. That's good. Thank you.
I'm a battered housewife.
Well, I'm just saying, because you want to go back and be nice to the person that was a jerk to you. When you were in the right.
That was the initial response. It's politeness. Now there's no friendliness. I don't give a shit who he is.
Because Steve's a nice guy. I like that. You just hit him with the same thing he hit you with.
Yeah.
I like that. Me neither.
Me too.
Whatever.
I can't picture you being rude to someone walking into your production studio.
I'm 3 times the guy's size. What purpose does it serve for me to immediately go and punch the guy through a wall?
I can't punch him.
So are you feeling a jealousy or something?
None.
No, he's
are
just
some
saying
people
that Tazz
pissed off
jealous
that we have some great equipment up in New York?
I think there's...
Oh, yeah, there was a little memo that went around, and one of the paragraphs was a little picky about some of our equipment up there in New York.
There seems to be this unspoken resentment towards this group.
Like, I'm thinking there's some people down here that put in requests for equipment, and they probably get nickel and dimed by upper management, and then they look and see some of the things we asked for and received up in New York, like our very expensive gaming computers, and it upsets them.
That if these people that are upset are listening right now, Anthony uses a total of maybe 5 minutes a day.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. Eat that. So suck on that. That I go there, and I'll boot up a game that could probably be played on a Trio, and I'm using a top-of-the-line Alienware computer.
For a total of 5 minutes a day, if that.
To play Scrabble.
I play Solitaire on it. Yeah, there you go. So suck on that one.
Breakout, I think you were playing the other day.
I was playing a little Breakout, sure. Why not?
Little Pong.
Yeah.
But man, does it look great on that machine.
I actually got a version of Snake that I usually play on my phone.
Yeah?
I got it for the computer. Yeah, the graphics are amazing.
Oh, that's funny, man.
It's a very enviable system.
Oh, it certainly is. I enjoy it.
I don't like the fact that Tazz was rude to Steve. That's uncalled for.
I don't like that either. I'd like to put it in an analogy maybe people can understand. Let's say a big grizzly bear wandered into another bear's territory. There would probably be some kind of a fight, a lot of clawing, and making peace would be hard. I guess one bear would have to go to the river and catch a trout that's jumping out and bring it back to that other bear or something. Or he could just rip his throat out with his big claws and flaming shirt.
Oh, my God.
See, there's always drama when we hit the road.
Yeah, but it's unprovoked.
I know. We're actually, believe it or not, kind of nice people when we're outside of this studio, walking around the halls. We're not banging into people with our shoulders. Watch it, asshole! We just...
Very down to earth when we're not doing a radio show. Yeah, sure.
Some people have a chip on their shoulder right off the bat. They walk in, say hi. And it's not like, this is Steve from the Opie and Anthony show, don't bother him or use the equipment. It's like, hey, meet Steve from the Opie and Anthony show. And the guy looks and goes, I don't give a shit who you are.
Yeah.
That's great. You're going to go far in life, jerk off.
Yeah. What's he look like?
You, shorter, beard.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's awful. Yeah. That just got worse and worse. Me, bad. Shorter, worse. Beard, horrendous. 0 for 3, stupid.
All right, we're just warming up. Why don't we take a break here, Anthony?
Oh, we didn't even get into our dinner.
I want to get rid of the dinner is what I want.
Oh, that's the problem.
Oh.
I'm up to 2 days without dumping again.
You got to fix yourself. Just fix yourself.
It's a freaking nightmare.
You're not eating properly. You think you are, but you're not. You think you are, but you're not.
I eat perfectly fine.
I don't think you do. I think you think about it a little too much.
I used to be very regular.
What happened?
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you got to eat like Jim.
Yeah. Well,
Jim has no problem dumping.
I really don't. And healthy ones. So I'm not a mess. Nice.
Yeah, because your pipes are all lubed up with that grease that you eat.
They certainly are.
It was classic. We went to the lunch area here at the compound yesterday after the show, and Jim decided he needed 2 lunches. And then he goes, oh, I didn't know. I just want a little sandwich on the side, but they gave him all the fixings.
There is a lunch line like a school cafeteria, and there's these metal trays full of food. Jimmy got everything. He goes, yeah, put a little of that, a little of this, a little the chicken, some cheese, broccoli, and turkey thing, rice, big piles of food, and then there's like another option you can. Everything in a metal tray is an option for lunch. You don't get them all. You get one of the things for lunch. But Jimmy gets them all.
But that's the problem when you're in that situation. Everything looks so good. You just start piling it on your tray.
Gotta get it all.
And when you know Strelow's paying for lunch for everyone, then it makes it a little easier.
Well, Kevin and his really, really wafer-thin, actually very nice body offered to buy us lunch. So I'm like, I'll have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but they make you kick a whole lunch. I didn't realize it would be a whole meal. I wouldn't have gotten that.
Because then he gets to the end of the metal trays, and they were making sandwiches, some kind of barbecued
pork
sandwiches on a hamburger roll. And he goes, yeah, and give me one of those sandwiches, too. So they load up the sandwich. Jimmy's the only one walking back to our table because everyone else was in front of him. We're all sitting at the table, and Jimmy comes back, and he comes walking over with his tray, his little lunch tray, with 2 plates on it just full of food.
What a fatso I felt like.
2 beverages. Like, Jimmy, that's 2 lunches.
That really was awful. Dinner was nice, though.
Yeah, dinner was fun. We'll talk about dinner after the break.
Do you feel better today?
No,
Not
man.
you.
It doesn't work if there's no one else behind me.
I just always wanted to do that.
Yeah, but it just doesn't work. You didn't use it the right way. Who else would you be talking